Greetings. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Rinsanityart and you are watching a speed paint video of me making a sun goddess. So this is part of the goddess series I've been working on. I have a death goddess so far and a sea goddess. Who knows what will happen next. So if you are following me, then you probably have noticed I haven't published a video since October. Oops. I really have no defense for myself, except that things got crazy, but that's for all of us, and I just dropped the ball. I had a video ready to go for November. I had it mostly edited, and did not manage to accomplish the voiceover, because honestly, I really hate doing voiceovers. I do not like listening to the sound of my own voice over and over again while I make sure a video is good. When I die and go to hell, I will be editing videos of myself talking. It'll be worse if I have to see my own face. It's just, I think I sound weird because it's not how I hear myself in my head because of science or whatever. I don't know. And while I do kind of enjoy talking through my art process, I'm not sure if it's worth this. So I'm going to talk this video and talk about the sun goddess and I guess kind of the process I went through a little bit, and I'll give you a couple updates, and then I think I'm going to experiment for a couple months of doing no audio, but I wanted to do at least one more video with audio just so I can say that I'm going to stop with the voiceovers. I think if I am to do any voiceovers in the future, they'll be done as a sort of Q&A thing, and then I have to get you guys to send me cues so I can A them. So let's see, shifting focus back to the sun goddess. I'm just gonna say this right at the beginnings and get it out of the way. This was basically a color comp that got out of hand. I initially was not going to color this digitally at all. That was not my plan. I, in fact, didn't really want to do that. I just wanted to lay some colors down and see what they looked like. And the more colors I put down, the more I want to experiment with them, and the more I was like, hey, what if I did this? And oh, hey, I can do fun filters, and oh, this will be fun to do here, because I know I don't have the skill set to render that glow effect around the sun that you'll see later. Through watercolor, but I knew I was going to turn this piece into a watercolor, so my main focus was actually the line art. And then ironically enough, I ended up just going ham on the colors and just filling it in, doing the shading. I could have blocked colors, and then I just went ham on the shading as well, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing because I really love the way it turned out, but it is not the plan I had going into this. Though maybe that's a good thing, because if I had actually done this as a watercolor piece, this video would not be out right now, because as of recording this, I still haven't even transferred it onto a watercolor paper, the ink, let alone mixed any watercolors or begun to experiment in trying to do that sun, blotchy sunspotness, and I don't know, I just didn't want to stop after I did the sun, and I most certainly would not have finished painting it by now if I had done this whole video as a watercolor video to begin with. So that is also to say that I will be releasing another video, I guess it'll be kind of a part 2 of this video, where I do the actual watercolor, and I don't really like the background that I did, but I was just messing around at that point. And in the end, it's too close to her dress color, which I did want to kind of mirror, but I don't like it. That is the long and the short of it. So I'm not entirely sure what I'll do for the background. I think it might end up being something a little bit more galaxy feeling. So I'm thinking I'll start with a black wash like I did for my death goddess, but then add some different colors in there to make it feel a little bit more space and galaxy-like. So I also really like the idea of making her dress into the sky, especially where it's lighter up top with the proximity to the sun, and then it's darker on the bottom like it's turning into the night sky. I thought that was really cool, and I also liked the idea for holding a sun in her hand, but then I also wanted to tie it back to the figure, so I have this necklace going on. I think in the final version I'll try and make that necklace gold, but by the time I was done inking and coloring digitally, it just ended up being too much of a pain in the butt, and my computer was lagging so much at the end there. It was taking like 4 minutes just to render a blur effect and then apply it to the layer and then save it. It was awful, and the video is sped up a significant amount. I think it's like 3,000%. Or maybe it's even 30,000%. It's something ridiculously up there. It's at the end of the video. But it would just, you can see even in the sped up version, these, like, it feels like huge periods of time where I'm just basically not doing anything because I am trying to record it and the program is rendering it at the same time, and it's a hassle. I think in the future I may end up just doing like physical art. Not that that's any less or more work, it just, my computer takes it better because I'm only focused on recording from the webcam that I have set up, because I'm not using my phone in a janky way anymore. And so I'll record from the webcam, and then it's not as much of a tax on my computer to both record and run the program and render any effects I'm trying to produce. And that kind of goes back into me needing a new computer. But it's going to be a while because computer parts are super scarce right now. And I am relying on my BF to, you know, find me a good deal, and he's like, everything's super expensive, and I'm like, okay, I don't know anything about computers, so thumbs up emoji. I think the biggest thing is I'm gonna kind of miss being able to like go into Photoshop and show the process. It's not Photoshop, it's Krita, but show the process I use to, I guess, refine my line art and then print off that line art. Because occasionally I'll be sketching and it'll look fine, but you know, maybe, like especially in this piece, the mouth is a little bit wonky and I had to fix that, or a line here or there needed to be fixed, or the boobs were asymmetrical and I needed to zhuzh those up a little bit to make them look good, even though they're still not perfect. But then again, whose boobs are perfect? Certainly not mine. Yeah, and that includes the ones I draw. I do think the hair, doing the gradient in the hair, will be a little bit more of a risk in watercolor, just because there's mixing the colors, making sure that they're blending well, trying not to get out of the lines. I do not want to use any like Miskit or latex or masking fluid, just because it tends to leave behind weird textures on the paper, or if I use it on top of other paints, it will lift up a layer of paint and it just make it look patchy, but it also just affects the paper in a strange way, at least the brand I do has. So I've stopped using that, so I just have to be super careful with my line work, and then I have to be super careful with my brush work. And not that that's a bad thing to do, but sometimes I just want to be lazy. I'm thinking about, for the gold that's running down her arm from the sun, I'm thinking about actually doing that with like a either a gold ink or maybe a gold embossing powder. I'm kind of leaning towards the embossing powder, but the last time I used an embossing powder in conjunction with a watercolor piece, the paper soaked up the ink too much and I didn't get a good effect with the embossing powder because it wasn't sticking. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when I come to it, or I will personally. You can probably tell, but I am half-assing this voiceover, because I don't particularly enjoy doing them. I enjoy listening to them when they're other people's voiceovers, but do not like doing me own. So, if you do like a voiceover, I guess I will have to get better at doing them. So, if you do like them, leave a comment below. Let me know if you prefer a voiceover, if you prefer just, art and music. I'm also considering doing other arts and crafts, because I've been doing a lot of textile crafts lately, and I usually just post art, like traditional and digital art on this channel, at least by like the 4 videos I have up right now. So I'm thinking about branching out a little, trying some new things, and maybe I'll bring you along with the process. So if you think that's cool, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this video with anybody, your friends, your family, your neighbor. Just, you know, creep on them and be like, watch this video. That's gonna be it for me for this video anyway. I'll see you in the next one, but hopefully you will not hear me. Quick aside though, I will be posting the video for November sometime between now and the end of February, just to, you know, be like, hey, this was supposed to be the November video. It will also be no VO, so thumbs up emoji.